2-on-1, just meet up with me at Grinder.
I'm Rapha Hendrixon. I'm sponsored by SK, and I play QuakeLive. We're at QuakeCon, probably the biggest Quake event every single year. And I'm here for the big tournament and trying to win it.
How does this tournament stack up to previous Quake tournaments?
Well, actually, this year I feel like the schedule that they've run and the way the format of the tournament has been excellent. It's brought on a ton of great games. Thursday is all Duel. Today is all Clan Arena, and then they'll do the finals and such on Saturday. But yesterday was Duel, and I managed to successfully get all the way through the bracket and win the upper bracket finals. So I'm already secured for the finals come Saturday. So I'd say I'm doing pretty good right now.
And I mean, people I talk to, they all say you're the best player in the world. What's your impression of that? You know, how does it feel?
I'd say I've pretty much been flip-flopping with Cypher for a long time as being the best, and recently Evil has really stepped up his game and he's been playing really well. And even though I managed to knock him down to the losers bracket, he's still got a chance to come back and make it to the finals. Like, can't count him out. I don't think he's going to be really shaken by it. Yeah, as far as like being the best, like I just tried to, I don't know. Like I could say for a long time, yeah, there are times where you could say like I am the best player and whatnot, but I try to really take a humble approach to it, and I have a lot of respect for the top players because I know like they're good for a reason. Like you can never think of yourself like, oh, I'm the best. You know, this is going to be a cakewalk. Or that's when you fail. You know, pride comes before a fall. So I try to make sure that doesn't happen, and yeah, I don't really talk about it too much.
My research, I've uncovered that you are considered to be kind of a lame player, that you hide a little bit and hover over items and stuff like that. Is that fair to say?
I understand why some people look at it that way. My mindset has always been, if I know that somebody has a really good strength, why play into that? Like, always look for the weaknesses and try to expose that. And I look at it like, if there's a fight that's not worth taking, why take it? Why should I give away anything to the guy? I need to make him work for it. And, you know, there's been plenty of games where, yeah, I have played very defensive and I've had to do a lot of running, but then there's other games where I'm very aggressive. It just depends. I feel like I'm really balanced as far as like defensive and aggressive play, but yeah, I've had my share of of you know, hiding and running and stuff like that. So yeah, I can't say it's a lie.
Now you mentioned that it's the best deathmatch game that'll ever be. What does Quake have that other first-person shooters don't have?
I feel at the Duel, like the 1v1 level, the depth that you get like from having to read the other player and playing against them, I think that is like the biggest aspect of it, and I feel like the game is extremely balanced as well. And it's just, I don't know. I've played other games and I've competed in a couple others, but the competitive drive and the exhilaration you get from competing at Quake and like improving yourself and trying to get to that top level, there's nothing else like it.
What is the current state of the Quake competitive gaming esports scene, so to speak?
Well, the esports scene, it's like really died off the past couple years, especially after IEM dropped it, which I totally understood based on the games that they needed to go with, you know, with stream views and stuff like that. But I mean, Quake is always going to be the best deathmatch game that you'll have as far as tournaments and like depth is concerned with the game. Right now, we're pretty much to maybe 2-3 events a year, and QuakeCon being the biggest. So I'm glad I was able to show up this time and trying to win it again. And I'd like to see it do better, but you know, we're doing what we can right now. The community has actually been stepping up a lot and putting up a lot of online tournaments, more so in Europe than in North America. But I mean, it's good to see that, you know, there's actually been a ton of people playing and that there's actually a decent activity in the game right now.
You're referring to Face It and what they're pulling off?
Oh yeah, Face It, and then these Russian guys that are running 125 FPS. It's like a daily cup, and then now they're having like every month there's like a monthly tournament. And what's crazy about it is it's donation based. The prize money is like, and people you know are donating some money because they realize, you know, we're watching these great games like, you know, week in and week out. Like, I look at it like, hey, if I was a spectator for, let's say, another game, and, you know, I'm watching something, I'd be willing to pay $1 every weekend just to watch whatever I'm doing. That's just for me, that's $4 a month. Imagine, you know, all the viewers keep doing that, and what that can add to a community or whatever. Because I mean, it's not like when you watch TV, you watch it for free. You pay for the TV, you know. So it's been nice to see some people, you know, step up and like try to give if they can. And if people can't, it's totally understandable. But it's been good to see. But I understand to some aspect why Quake isn't there because Quake is, you know, it's old, you know, like, and it's stuck around for a long time because it is really good. But at the same time, if a sponsor wants to put money into a tournament, let's say like Nvidia, right? I'm just gonna throw that out there for an example. You know, the graphics card company. The game is old. It's not like their graphics really push the game like to the new level. What would need to happen for Quake is, you know, a new one would need to come out where, you know, the graphics are really, really good. It's appealing to people, like, wow, this game looks really nice. But it would have to be at the point where, like, yes, the next gen like graphics cards that come out, they could run it to where it's really optimal. The problem I've seen with games in the past is like these new games come out and, you know, yeah, these graphics cards can run them, but it's still not very good. Like, it's really choppy or whatever. It needs to find like a good balance, or like somehow create some type of engine which can, like, let's see here, like, plan for the future. So like now it looks good, it can run this way, but it can potentially get better and better as the technology gets better, rather than being like, oh, well, we made this engine and we're kind of stuck with it. So that's what would need to happen, because then you'd get the companies behind it putting the money into tournaments, and then obviously tournaments give exposure, like, hey, there's money behind this game. Look at League of Legends. League of Legends has so much money dumped into that. Same with Dota 2 right now. They're putting so much money into it, people are realizing it, you know, and the fact that they're free to play, they can play them with their friends so easily and stuff like that, like, it really, really helps them out to get that kind of exposure, and I think that right now they're doing it the right way.
You were mentioning prior to this interview that the influence that your father had when it came to being a part of this scene. Can you talk a little bit about that, about him bringing you to QuakeCon and then him introducing you to the Quake game?
Yeah, my dad, you know, when internet was starting to get big, like even just with phone line and ISDN. Once he got an ISDN, I remember he was so excited. This was back in Quake 2, and he kind of introduced me to Quake and PC gaming in general. And he went to QuakeCon in 2001 when 04 beat Fatality. He was like, Shane, you know, I'm going to take you next year. Like, you have to go. Like, so the next year, you know, I started playing Quake a little bit, and we came here, and it was an awesome experience. I actually got to, you know, now he's a great friend of mine, and he helped me get hooked up with SK in the first place, 04. I got to stand right behind him when I was like 12 or 13 and watch him play Fatality during that match that a lot of people remember. And like ever since then, you know, I've come to QuakeCon when I could. I started competing the next year, and there was a long time where I couldn't compete based on, you know, my parents were divorced, and at my mom's house I had no internet, and then my dad moved away, so it's like I only got to play a couple weeks out of the year. Then eventually I got my chance around 2007, and I made the most of it.
And you said this is your 9th QuakeCon. You'll be here next year?
We'll see, man. We'll see based on, you know, what life has in store, and if I can find the time to practice for it, to try to win the tournament, if it's worth going to, then yeah, I'm going to be here again. If not, then, you know, it'll suck that I'm not here, but it is what it is. But I plan on being here again.
Anything you want to say to your fans or to people who are maybe thinking about jumping into Quake?
I say, go ahead and try it, man. Like, go ahead and jump into the game, and like, I think you'll have fun. Like, I know sometimes you'll be like crushed when you start, you know, but the thing is, it's like, just try to like watch and be like, oh, why is this guy doing really well? What is he doing? You know, it's crazy how many people at a low level don't understand like little aspects of like how to make aiming easier for yourself. And like one tip would be, instead of just trying to use all of with your mouse, like let your strafing and your movement do it for you, make it easier for you. But yeah, I'd say just go ahead and play and just keep with it. I think you'll have a lot of fun with the game, no matter what type of like mode you end up playing. And yeah, otherwise I'd like to thank SK for sponsoring me all these years. Been a great sponsorship relationship, and yeah, just glad that I'm here again playing and I get to play in another final.